Hey, this is Anthony with Averum, and there are a lot of reasons why you should squat with your feet pointing straight forward. So I might as well start chipping away at that and cover one compelling reason why your feet should always point straight forward, whether you're doing a medium squat, barbell squat, or a low squat working on your mobility. Always point your feet forward. Okay, so here's the first reason that I'd like to cover. Ready? So, if you are squatting, it's really important to have a nice healthy arch in the foot. I think most people kind of vaguely understand that you should have good arches. It makes your feet more stable. Well, it turns out that the stability of the foot directly influences the stability of the knee. So if I have a collapsed arch, then the weight is distributed towards the inside here of the foot. It's going to tend to pull me into a valgus position where the knee draws inward, put more compression here, or not compression, but more pressure here in the inside, the medial compartment of the knee, and boom, that's how we get an ACL tear. This is how most people will tear their ACL, is feet out, knees in, rotation, boom, force. That's an ACL tear, classic. Apparently, according to Dr. Kelly Starrett, if you're trying to get into the NFL, they'll do a bunch of evaluations on your feet to see if you have collapsed arches, because if you have flat feet, the chances of you getting an ACL injury are super high, and they don't want to take that risk with their players. So you're SOL if you're trying to get into the NFL with collapsed arches or flat feet. So that sucks. But that means that we should work to develop an arch in the foot when we squat. So the best way to do that is have your feet pointing forward. So if I start here with my foot pointing forward and my knee directly over my ankle, which is sort of classic, position. Feet forward, knee over your ankle, knee in line with the second toe, that sort of thing. Well, I've got kind of an arch, not very much. If I really want to pull an arch here into the foot, I have to start to push my knee out to the side. But I don't have to do it very much. So here I've got like no arch. And if I push out just a little bit here, now I've got this nice curvature here in the arch of my foot. Okay. Now, if I turn my foot out, well, I've already got my knee now is not pointing in line with my second toe. My knee is pointing forward, and my toes are pointing outward. Okay, so this is already a valgus position, and I'm already really begging for an ACL injury here. But okay, that's fine. Let's stabilize the arch. Well, in order to do that, I have to push the knee out. Okay, so I got to push it out, push it out, push it out, push it out, push it out. This is as far as I can push my knee. That's it. And now I finally see that I have a nice arch in the foot. So, okay, it was possible to create the arch necessary in the foot. But in order to do that, I had to shove my knees out so far. And also with the feet out like this and the knees this far out, I can't generate the torque in my hips, but that's another conversation. So my knees are way, way out, and now I've got an arch. I bring them back, now I've lost the arch. Now I'm in a valgus, now I'm in a really collapsed, pronated position here, and this is really just a bad news here for my knee and my ankle. So again, foot forward, I only have to push the knee out a little bit, now I've got a nice arch. Foot out, I start in a terrible position, but in order to gain that arch and gain stability in the knee, I have to push the knee way too far out to be practical here if we're doing barbell squats or even just body weight squats, or like in yoga, if we're doing malasana, and we do this with the feet out. See, I've got collapsed arches here, but in order to get this arch lifted up, I have to push my knees, well, really further out than I actually can. I don't think this is really quite enough here to pull an arch into the foot. But if I put my feet straight forward and then I squat here, my knees go out, now I've got a huge arch in my foot. I've got tons of arch, I've got extra mobility. I could continue to push my foot out or my knee if I needed, so I'm not completely at end range. I'm in a more stable position with my feet forward because I've got that arch. So that is just one of a lot of reasons why we should be squatting with our feet forward. There are some very slight exceptions, but those slight exceptions just basically mean that your feet are just a little bit out. But once we start to really get towards this 45-degree angle territory, there's no hope of stabilization. So feet forward is the best, gives you the best chance for stability. It's not totally wrong if your feet are like an inch splayed out, but the further you start to turn those feet out, the worse your chances of stabilizing into the ankle, into the knee. And then torque is another conversation. We'll talk about torque next. All right. So thank you. If you find these videos useful as an educational resource, if they're thought-provoking, if they start getting you to think about movement in maybe a different way, or just rephrasing something you already knew that's going to be useful for your practice or your teaching or whatever, please share this. If we can all sort of share our ideas and our knowledge, then we can all, as a community, as students and teachers, become more informed, safer, more effective, and we can lift everybody up by sharing this sort of information. So if this is useful, please like or subscribe or follow me, or wherever you're seeing this video, do the stuff with the buttons and share it if you can. Cool? Cheers. Appreciate it. Peace.